Hey, it's Spence, the evil genius.
Oh, yes, it is. Hey, guys, it's Spence. It's Monday, February 23rd, 4:02. I have exactly 13 minutes to give you the update today because I'm playing pickleball, and that is the deal. I have so much to share and so little time, but I'm going to do my best. First, let's do the dance and share my screen, which always is a treat. I'm actually going to not share the dude. I'm just going to share the screen. That way I can keep this up on board. And let me also see if I can stretch this out a little bit. Not too shabby. I think I can go even farther. I'm going to put myself down here so I get out of the way. What I need to share with you is a couple concepts. First of all, the number one thing that I am interested in sharing with you is what has happened in the last 4 days is probably exponentially more than has happened in the last 4 months. Number one, we have been able to achieve, I have been able to achieve with the help of Fernando and the crew, Tony Stark, Jarvis like capabilities. That is to say, imagine with all of the tools that we've got on the back end, about 191 tools that control every aspect of building out your business. We actually had an agentic partner with whom you can have a conversation. And just as a reference, I use, come here, kid. I use this. This is a Shocks 2 headset. And it goes like this. It goes over the top of my gear. I wear it when I'm playing pickleball driving. This, I can walk around the house, and using this, I can talk to my phone that lets me essentially have whatever voice I want, Jarvis-like interaction. And here's the concept. Imagine all of the things that we can now do on the back end. The ultimate goal is to have an intermediary who can act as our Jarvis, act as our butler. I'm calling him Fernando. You can call him Jarvis. The point is we've now achieved that with voice and everything. And the hard part was getting all of the tools. So one of the things I want to share with you here is in this screen, you can see I'm asking him to list out. He has 191 tools that let him do everything from the CRM to running the site. And in doing so, it's not just the plugins and things, it's actually the real hardcore operations. Number two, I'm having remarkable success using the tool for not only updating my marketing and advertisement, but even with the content on the site. So here's an example. Using the actual tools themselves, I'm going to zoom in a bit. On WP Launchify, my messaging has been pretty consistently the same for what I solve, right? It's been WordPress profitable AI solutions, membership, marketing automation, online courses, e-commerce, and more. Frankenstein monsters. But the actual details, the words, especially here, and then more importantly on the pricing table, and then finally, most important here, to explain exactly what I deliver. I have actual interaction with real live human beings, and Fernando has been intercepting all the conversations. When they don't understand something, he's been updating and editing and improving the descriptions for what I offer and how I offer it. He's also been communicating and answering my emails for me in a way that gets remarkably better. So from the standpoint of not only just creation and talking to me, but actually running the business, improving it, dealing with the customers, it's improving my conversion. I've had more conversions this month to VIP than I've ever had. I think that's also attributable to number 4, which is I have 4 or 5 live projects, including one that's gone live for, this is a multi-million-dollar business that is in the real world that I'm providing a replacement for their tools. So this is not showing you their financials for the business they run. This is the tools they're going to use to run the business. And notice we've got this common interface. I want you to see this interface that allows us to have the kind of control over the granular details of running the operation of this company in what feels like a custom SaaS program, but it's really owned and controlled and running within the Minute Launch system. I'm going to show you several other examples of that. Here is an example of, this is the new one I'm doing with one of our family friends here, Kathleen. I have to get to the actual screen. This is Pickle Draft. Pickle Draft has a similar back-end dashboard, but the important part of Pickle Draft is what happens on the front. because this is a mobile first interface. And this is something that I got to be honest, I'm kind of blown away with what we're capable of doing. So I'm working with Kathleen as a joint venture partner in this. Some of you have the same conversation with me. I'm doing an emulator here, but notice if you're interested in doing the kinds of things that this does, it's a fully mobile, completely comprehensive app for pickleball tournaments and players and games and everything else. This is being developed with the same interface. Let me show you another one. This is something that I built today as an extension to working with a new onboard. I mentioned my friend Michelangelo has signed up with his company, Hudson Group, and we're building out a custom solution for his construction business. This has the very same high-end tools, Kanban boards, NAT or Gantt organization, contacts, billing, invoice, all the things that used to take $1,000 a month plus infinite amounts of time. But what we built today was the Minute Launch Laboratory. This is so while I'm working with Michelangelo, further customizing what his products do, he's able to drop in Loom videos that explain like when he's having difficulty with something. And then what happens is the Loom video, when he drops it in, gets automatically summarized and turned into punch lists items for me and for Fernando. And then across all of it, we get all of the punch list items. So essentially what I've been able to do is build not only the custom dashboard and these tools, and these are all components for you, but also turn them into tools that help me work on the tools. In other words, the Minute Launch Laboratory is a way for the client to work with me and my agent, in this case, Fernando, in building out further and improving his tools. Notice we have this amazing focus mode, which also changes the look and feel of the entire WordPress experience on the admin side to just focus on his thing. Notice we've got custom documentation with built-in AI questions and answers. How do I do the time track thing? This means that inside of the site is always a capability of getting the right answer for the team member or for the customer and also improving the system. I want to show you another one, which is Kathleen's solution, which I think is WI6, this one. So this is for a service that is away from home. Similar dashboard. I want you to see the common thread here, focus mode. What we're doing here is really remarkable because in this particular case, let's just say we've got properties and each of the properties has owners and people that take care of it. When you look at any of the particular properties and you need to see the systems, you can see the equipment. What's really, really, really remarkable though is what we did today, and it's still under wraps. But when we go to the dashboard that we're building out, and let's say I use the simulator to be John Smith. If I have a property of mine, like the Lake Tahoe cabin, I'm able to use the systems for, let's say, AI to instantly add the equipment. Like here's all of the HVAC systems or the plumbing or the kitchen or the appliances. Now, here's what's remarkable. I can take an image either from my phone or whatever. Here's, let's say, a Lennox image. It's an image of the inside of the furnace that shows, you know, like the label, and it pulls all of the data and puts it in. If there's something missing, I could just add that with voice. Change the condition to awesome. Okay. It automatically updates. I don't know if you saw that. It changed from one of the choices to excellent. It fills in all of the stuff. Okay. Location is basement. Okay. So what does this mean? This means that I've got the capability of an AI to read, to write, even to look up the parts. So for example, I've got a piece of equipment that's a vintage piece of equipment, and the people servicing the house need to know what size furnace and what model filter it uses. Well, guess what? The Smart Fill goes out, finds the parts that it needs, and lists them, and also allows the provider to buy them wholesale and inventory them. Same thing for things like adding the insurance policies. If I want to add an insurance policy, I can scan it, I can say it, I can bring it in from a third-party source, calendaring and more. So having the AI work with this means that you are going to have something that, again, imagine a Jarvis-like experience where a homeowner or the person who is servicing the property, or even the site, Kathleen, the owner of the whole business, can have all of the things done by an intermediary. There is I showed this in the Friday office hours. There's a new application that I created that is a Chrome extension called Serrano. Serrano allows me to take a profile of any person with any situation, from dating to business to technical advice. And I can essentially grab their profile, grab the conversations I've had with them. If it's in a dating app, it could be their images, notes about them, their profile, their strategy. I can then use the expert advice of myself or another person to participate in a conversation with the person in real time or asynchronously. That is to say, could be dating advice on what to say next. It could be business advice. It could be chatting. It could be within the conversation that I'm having on a Zoom call. Having an online expert who is trained, not just like Tony Stark's Jarvis, but like the particular business owner that is selling this advice, remarkable. Spence can be your wingman for whatever you need. Finally, because I'm a minute short of being out of time, if we go back over here, we'll notice that we've got the real-time notifications. When I have an agentic partner, here in this case, I can turn on a variety of voices. I've got these real-time, real-world voices, or I've got these really fast, good enough voices that do the job. There's about 25 browser voices, which are good enough. And here's why. Hey, it's Spence. Are you there? Okay, now I don't know if you can hear that because my microphone isn't maybe set up to show that, but he's agentically there. So I'd be like, hey, listen, I'm going to go to pickleball. Can you tell me the address of Pickle and Pedal on Skokie Boulevard in Highland Park? So let's say, for example, I'm driving. I need these directions, right? That's no big deal. Everybody can do that. But this is always with me. So watch the next thing. Okay, thanks. Listen, I also want you to demonstrate you've got access to all my WordPress tools. Can you list out all the plugins I've got on this site right now? So as long as I get the microphone active, you're going to be able to, I'm going to be able to just talk and listen, right, in my headset. So there's sometimes maybe it takes about a second or two. Okay, so he can list it out. I interrupted him. Here's all the plugins. I'd be like, okay, listen, Fernando, here's what I want you to do. I'm going to go have a new game with my friend Art Kessler, Kessler. Add Art to my CRM, Influent CRM. art@kessler.com. His phone number is 312-555-1212. Add him to the main list and put in as a tag pickleball partner. And so what he's going to do is he's going to go and use the tools. He's got tools to talk to all my backend components. He's going to add the person. Now, this is in addition to the normal interface. If I want to use the toggle. Yeah, just go ahead. Sorry, I was talking to everybody online. Go ahead and finish what you're doing. Make the new contact, then give me a link to his contact profile. Okay, I'm going to turn off his mic so I can talk to you. The mic is always on, and I have a watchword called Fernando. But while I'm talking, if I mention him, he's just going to be like, what? You're talking to me? So he can essentially do all the things that I would normally do by typing and watching, and he can do them automatically, asynchronously. He can also go ahead and create things and then give me a task, right? So listen, sorry, I was talking. Create a tag called pickleball. Apply it to Art Kessler. Fernando, apply that tag to Art Kessler. Okay, great. Now, can you give me a link that I can click to go to Art Kessler's contact profile? And by the way, I'm turning off the mic. This is in real time. So what's interesting, I want you to understand, I've shown you a million times before how the interface of Minute Launch Simple Site lets you just call them up manually if I click and just go to Art Kessler. But imagine I'm driving and, hands free, and I've got Jarvis essentially giving me all this stuff. So here should be Art's fake profile, because I know it's not his real profile. And here should be Art Kessler. And there it is. And so again, he screwed up the tags. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But he got everything else right. I think he was confused about which tag to apply, but you can see that he actually created it. Now, what does this all mean? What this means is I have like 3 or 4 other things releasing, including the lead generator tool for remodeler, which also applies to things like hair salons and dressing and everything else. I've got the AI tool generation. I've got the image lookup. I've got the ability to create live content. I've been able to get him to act as an intermediary while I'm playing pickleball and do anything I want. And there's some little hiccups here and there, but it's remarkably fluid considering. And so what this means is no extra cost, no expense, no open claw, no risks. It's a WordPress site with a plugin that you own and control. You rent the site from me as part of the bargain, or you put it on your own site. I don't care. You could talk with a headset, talk to the computer, talk on a laptop, talk on a phone. It can do everything, create everything, use the powerful tools, but through this new intermediary where he'll also essentially be your agentic partner. And that's the differentiator. The ability for him to create these autonomous tasks is the big thing. I got to run because I'm late, but let's see. Can you create a task? I'd like you to do 3 things. I'd like you to research the history of pickleball. Number 2, I'd like you to include an image of pickleball that you search from the internet. Pick something good. Number 3, I want you to post it as a page with HTML using Minute Launch Canvas block. Make a task list and a project. Okay, what did I just do? I just gave him 3 things to do. He's going to, as my intermediary, tell me no problem in my headset. Then he's going to create a project, which you'll see on the screen. Then he's going to do the things asynchronously. Here comes the project, right? And as he's doing all this stuff, I'm going to play pickleball. I'll be back later, because you see what's happening is he's created these tasks in the background, and there's a project here too, right? And in doing so, I don't have to think about it because these are all set up as autonomously running background things. He will notify me. By the way, one other thing I didn't tell you about, I came up with a new notification system using it's called One Source, One Screen. It will allow you or me to have on our phone the kind of notification you want, not a text SMS, but rather like the good old fashioned growl notification, ding, ding, everything's done. And when he's done, he will also show it in my sidebar over here, which means that when I'm playing pickleball, I'll get a notice that everything's good to go. With that, I will leave you. But if you are thinking about changing your life for the better, getting going, join me as a VIP at minutelaunch.com. You could start for $97 a month, hosted yourself, no support. $197 a month, fully hosted, all the software, all the support, email only. Go to town. $497 done for you services, or you could go for the VIP experience, $5,000 one time. When you actually look at this, by the way, I noticed I got to update that. WP Launchify has the full new updated version of this, which is a good comparison actually, because you can see here what I've changed. But the full hands-on experience, join many, many, many other happy people, and we will use all of the same things I just shared with you. I expect that by this Friday, I will have a fully autonomous Jarvis system that runs everything, builds everything, does everything you could ever imagine with a full dashboard, replace tens of thousands of dollars of software, hundreds of thousands of dollars of value from employees and services, all within a box you own and control, take with you, guaranteed, as simple as that. That is the crazy time we're living in. You guys have a great day. That's my update. Ciao. Say bye, Fernando. Bye, Fernando.